confidence in you. That's why we commit it.
No, you see, one thing you
Exactly.
should know.
You can
That's
connect.
a close agreement. One thing you should know. Once
You will connect at the
there is,
abet, and then all
once there
Arising from the Emergency General Assembly meeting held at the National Secretariat, Abuja, on Friday, 31st March 2023, the following communique was arrived at. Conscious of the need for reconciliation, healing, political stability, national unity, peace, cohesion, and desire to preserve our hard-earned democracy after the contentious 2023 general election, the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, condemns in strong terms the call and plot to install an interim government in Nigeria. It is a civilian coup, treason, absolutely unconstitutional, undemocratic, and unacceptable. IPAC rejects any attempt to scuttle, subvert, and truncate the nation's emerging democracy by reactionary and retrogressive forces. It is in an attempt to overheat the polity, cause confusion, political upheavals, impasse, and quagmire, as was the case in the infamous annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election that necessitated the hasty set-up of an interim government by General Ibrahim Babangida, which was headed by Chief Ernest Shonaka in August 1993. It will be recalled that the court later declared illegal and was overthrown by General Sani Abacha in November same year. Council notes the statement by the Department of State Service, DSS, that it has uncovered a plot by some persons to violently disrupt the nation's peace and install an interim government. Council demands that the country's intelligence service should name the plotters, arrest, and prosecute them in accordance with the law of the land to serve as a deterrent to others who would resort to self-help to achieve their selfish political ambitions. Council has repeatedly urged all aggrieved political parties, their candidates, and supporters to eschew violence in all its ramifications and seek redress in courts for perceived infractions and irregularities in the conduct of the 2023 general election. Council further urged the judiciary to dispense justice without fear or favor, as the temple of justice and last hope of all aggrieved persons. All eyes are on the judiciary to justify the confidence the people reposed in it by upholding the rule of law. That is, the only way to assuage the anger in the land and maintain the sanctity of the ballot box. IPAC highly appreciates Professor Enena Oti, the INEC returning officer in the just concluded governorship and House of Assembly elections held on 18th March 2023 in Abia State, for her exemplary conduct and very impressive performance in the exercise. Council's commendation is predicated upon her ability to rise above pressure and deliver our statutory mandate without fear or favor, and hope that others can emulate this virtue of integrity, which is lacking among some public officers in the position of trust. The Inter-Party Advisory Council, as an umbrella body of all registered political parties in Nigeria, is saddled with the mandate of deepening our democracy and will continue to stand against any undemocratic forces in whatever guise, while appreciating and commending those adding values to our nascent democracy. There is no substitute for democracy. Together we will build a better democratic nation for Nigeria. We know that the punishment for treason, if confirmed, is death. So that underscores the seriousness of anybody thinking about anything outside the democratic arrangement that we have as enshrined in our Constitution is unacceptable to us, because it's, like I said, unconstitutional. So our stand is that we do not support or in any way, accept such, moves. Number two, as to DSS, like we have said, time was that number. We want them to go a step further and deliver according to their mandate, which is to ensure that nothing upsets the peace and stability of the country. And if there's anything that attempts to interfere with the peaceful coexistence of Nigerians, they should, if they like, name the person and possibly arrest if they have confirmed that their suspicion is true. So what are we saying? DSS should go beyond just making the pronouncement. They should also go further by taking action, which may include taking the person into custody. Well, as spelled out in the Electoral Act, INEC has the right to revisit, review. They had that right within 6 days, they can do that. 7 days rather, of the elections. They could review what has happened. And even after that, when, the cases are now before the courts, what we expect INEC to do is to be honest, to come out, and then state the facts as they are, and allow parties to have access to the materials that they need to prove their case at the tribunal. That's all that INEC has to do now, is to cooperate and ensure that they do not withhold any information or give any wrong information to the courts. Because unfortunately, anybody taking the matter to court is like you are really fighting INEC, in the courts, because INEC is always also a respondent, in this case. So I know going forward, perhaps we may have to look at the law itself, where INEC just will be a witness, just to provide information. But now, unfortunately, INEC has to defend whatever they have done. But I'm asking them to have fear of God and have interests of this country at heart and present the facts as they are, so that the judges will now be able to adjudicate, on the basis of the rule of law. Well, you are right. We are going to have a meeting with DSS and other security agencies, actually, so that we can know firsthand what actually happened, where is this threat coming from, and what actions have they taken so far, beyond just telling the public that this is what is happening. So we are going to have that meeting, definitely, with DSS.